Okay, good morning. Today, the Oxford Book of 17th Century Verse, because I really like this one. I got this one secondhand. Oh, it's got something on it. I got this one secondhand, and I like the way things sound, if that makes sense. Turn to a random page and random page, but back to where it starts. Okay. Sorry, I had a notification noise and it's really throwing me off. Okay. Anyway, sorry, my bad. Go, lovely rose, tell her that wastes her time and me, that now she knows, when I resemble her to thee, how sweet and fair she seems to be. Tell her that's young, and shuns to have her graces spied, that hadst thou sprung in deserts where no men abide, thou must have uncommended died. Small is the worth of beauty from the light retired. Bid her come forth, suffer herself to be desired, and not blush, so to be admired. Then die, that she the common fate of all things rare may read in thee how small a part of time they share, that are so wondrous, sweet and fair. Okay, I probably butchered that. I just love how flowy it is. Sorry, forgot to text my partner that I was live. Anyway. Now a different one. Sorry. That which her slender waist confined shall now my joyful temples bind. No monarch would give his crown, his armies might do what this has done. I wonder how that rhymes. Confined, bind, crown, but done. Probably a change in pronunciation of words. Anyway. It is my heaven's extremest sphere, the pale which held the dove. It is my heaven's extremest sphere, the pale which held the lovely dear. My joy, my grief, my hope, my love, do all within this circle move. Move and love. Again, okay. Pronunciations change. A narrow compass, and yet there dwells all that's good and all that's fair. Give me but what this ribbon tied, take all the sun goes round beside. See, that one rhymes. And it's like tied, it's T-Y apostrophe D. There's some interesting spellings in here. While with a strong yet gentle hand, you bridle faction and our hearts command. Protect us from ourselves and from the foe. Make us unite and make us conquer too. Okay, again. Change of pronunciations makes it not rhyme. Let partial spirits still aloud complain, think themselves injured that they cannot regain, and own no liberty but where they may, without control upon their fellows prey. Above the waves as Neptune showed his face, to chide the winds and save the Trojan race. So has your highness raised above the rest, storms of ambition tossing us repressed. Your drooping country torn with civil hate, restored by you, is made a glorious state. The seat of the empire, where the Irish come, and the unwilling Scotch to fetch their doom. Doom and come. C-O-M-E and D-O-O-M-E. Again, pronunciations. It's so fun because it's so old. Anyway, it's so fun. The sea is our own, now all nations greet, with bending sails each vessel of our fleet. Your power extends as far as winds can blow, or swelling sails upon the globe may go. Heaven that has placed this island give to law, to balance Europe and her states to awe. In this conjunction does on Britain smile, to the greatest leader and the greatest isle. Oh my god. I do not agree with this one. Okay. Whether this portion of the world were rent by the rude ocean from the continent, or thus created, it was sure designed to be the sacred refuge of mankind. Hither the oppressed shall henceforth resort, justice to crave and succour at your court. And then your highness, for not ours alone, but for the world's protector shall be known. Fame swifter than your winged naive flies through every... Oh, navy! I put the A in the wrong spot in my brain. Not the A, the I. I put the I... Okay, let's try that again. But for the world's protector shall be known. Fame swifter than your winged navy flies through every land that near the ocean lies, surrounding your name and telling dreadful news to all that piracy and... I truly don't know how to pronounce... R-A-P-I-N-E. Let's look that up. R-A-P-I-N-E. Rapin. Right. Checks out, I guess. To all that piracy and rapine use, with such a chief and the meanest nation blessed, might hope to lift her head above the rest. What may be thought impossible to do, for us embraced by the sea and you, lords of the world's great waste, the ocean, the world's great waste, the ocean. No one needs that. Lords of the world's great waste, the ocean, we whole forests send to rain upon the sea, and every coast may trouble or relieve. But none can visit us without your leave, angels, and we have this prerogative, that none can at our happy seat arrive. While we descend at pleasure to invade, the bad with vengeance, or the good to aid, our little world, image of the great, like that amidst the boundless ocean set, of her growth has all that nature craves, and that's rare as tribute from the waves. Britain's great, you know. Fuck. Sorry. It's really funny. As Egypt does not on the clouds rely, but to her Nile owes more than the sky, so what our earth and what our heaven denies, our ever-constant friend, the sea supplies. The taste of Arabia's spice we know, free from the scorching sun that makes it grow. Without the worm in Persian silks we shine, and without planting drink of every vine. Oh, and without planting drink of every... Right. It's capitalized, and that means you put emphasis on it if the first letter is capitalized. Like, instead of a comma, which we would use nowadays to indicate the next section. Okay. To dig for wealth, we weary not our limbs, gold, though the heaviest metal hither swims, Ours is the harvest where the Indians mow, we plough the deep and reap what others sow. Yeah, and you're saying that's a good thing? Things of the noblest kind, our own soil breeds, stout are our men, and warlike are our steeds. Really? Rome through her eagle through the world had flown, could never make this island all her own. Hence the third, Edward, and the Black Prince too, France conquering Henry flourished with a T. I was trying to figure it out. Flourished. And now you, for whom we'd said, for who stayed, as did the Grecian state, till Alexander came to urge their fate. For when for more worlds the Macedonian cried, he wist not Thetis in her lap did hide. He wist not. I wonder what wist means. Another yet, a world reserved for you, to make more great than that he did subdue. He safely might old troops to battle lead against the unwarlike Persian and the Mede, whose hasty flight did from a bloodless field more spoil than honour to the victor yield. Congratulations, you got more stuff than... okay. A race unconquered by their climb made bold, the Caledonians armed with want and cold, have by a fate indulgent to your fame been from all ages kept for you to tame. Oh, because if things exist, it's just so that Britain can tame it. Okay. Whom the old Roman wall so ill confined, with a new chain of garrisons you bind. Here foreign god no more shall make them come, our English iron holds them fast at home. Home and coming in. So, I think it's meant to be comb then. I'll still say come, just so that we understand. They that henceforth must be consistent to know no warmer region than their hills of snow, may blame the sun, but extol your grace, which in our senate has allowed them place, preferred by conquest, happily overthrown. Okay. Falling they rise to be made with us one. Unless it's meant to be like own. Anyway, so kind dictators made when they came home. Because, solid and consistent trait of dictatorship, kindness. Where was I up to? This is a mess. When they came home, their vanquished foes, free citizens of Rome, like favour find the Irish, with like fate advanced to be... Because Britain favoured the Irish. Advanced to be a portion of our state, while by your valour and your courteous mind... courteous. I can read. That's a skill I have. Nations divided by the sea are joined. Holland, to gain your friendship, is content to be our outguard on the continent. She from her fellow provinces would go, rather than hazard to have you her foe. In our late fight, when cannons did diffuse, preventing posts, the terror and the news, our neighbour princes trembled at their roar, but our conjunction makes them tremble more. Your never-failing sword made war to cease, and now you heal us with the arts of peace. Our minds with bounty and with awe engage, invite affection and restrain our rage. Less pleasure take, brave minds in battles won, than restoring such as are undone. Tigers have courage, and the rugged bear, but man alone can, whom he conquers, spare. To pardon willing and punish loath, you strike with one hand, but I heal you with both. Lifting up all that prostrate lie, you grieve. You cannot make the dead again to live. Grieve, live. Leave? Live. When fate or error... Sorry, let me just move the book. That way I'm facing you. Oh, but you might just hear the pages. Sorry, I'm a bit sniffly. What? Wait. Put that in there. Let's optimize this area. You're just gonna hang from the desk? You can reach. I know you can reach. You're just gonna be like that? Okay, he's just gonna be like that. Okay then. If I move that back. Yes. And then book here. Ta-da! We're all good. Okay. We cannot make the dead again to live. When fate or error has our age misled, and I'm just gonna say over. I've lost it again. Oh yes, and over these nations such confusion spread, the only cure which could from heaven come down was so much power and clemency in one. Again, is it meant to be... I'm not even gonna... No, I'm not even gonna try. No. Okay. Again, pronunciations change. One whose extraction from an ancient line gives hope again that well-born men may shine. In the meanest in your nature, middle and good, the noble rest secured in your blood. Blood and good. Blood. Oft have we wondered how you hid in peace a mind proportion to such things as these, and how such a ruling spirit you could restrain and practiced first over yourself to regain. Your private life did a just pattern give, how fathers' husbands, pious sons should live. Born to command, your princely virtues slept, like humble David's while the flock he kept. But when your troubled country called you forth, your flaming courage and your matchless worth, dazzling the eyes of all that did pretend, to fierce contention give a prosperous end. Still as you rise, the state exalted too, finds no distemper, while 'tis changed by you. Changed like the world's great scene, when without noise the rising sun night's vulgar lights destroys. Had you some ages past, this race of glory, run with amazement, we should read your story. But living virtue, all achievements past, meets envy still to grapple with at last. This Caesar found, and that ungrateful age, which losing him, fell back to blood and rage. Mistaken, Brutus thought to break their yoke, but cut the bond of union with that stroke. That sun once set 1,000 meaner stars, gave a dim light to violence and wars. Wars and stars. Wars? Stores? I like wars. To such a tempest as now threatens all, did not your mighty arm prevent the fall. If Rome's great senate could not wield that sword, which of the conquered world had made them lord, what hope had ours, while yet their power was new, to rule victorious armies but by you? You had taught them to subdue their foes, could order teach, and their high spirits compose. To every duty could their minds engage, provoke their courage, and command their rage. So when a lion shakes his dreadful mane, and angry grows, if he that took first pain, to tame his youth, approach the haughty beast, he bends to him, but fights away the rest. Beast and rest. Reest? Best, of course, because if you're saying like bestiary, another way to say that is bestiary, so it does make sense that beast would be best. As the vexed world to find repose at last, itself into Augustus' arms did cast, So England now does, with like toil oppressed, her weary head upon your bosom rest. Then let the Muses with such notes as these instruct us what belongs unto our peace. Your battles they hereafter shall indite, and draw the image of our Mars in fight. Oh, Mars is in the Roman god of war. That does make sense. Tell of towns stormed and armies overrun, and mighty kingdoms by your conduct won. How while you thundered clouds of dust did choke contending troops, and seas lay hidden smoke. Illustrious acts of high raptures does infuse, and every conqueror creates a muse. Here in low strains your milder deeds we sing, but there, my lord, it's in parentheses, my lord. Okay, I'm sorry, this is just, it's really funny. Britain's not that good. Okay, sorry. My lord, will bays and olive bring to crown your head while you triumph ride over vanquished nations and the sea beside, while your neighbour princes unto you, like Joseph's sheaves. Is that Joseph's or Foseph's? Because there was a J earlier and that was a different... Oh, that was David's. It's Joseph, not Foseph. Joseph's sheaves pay reverence and bow. And that's the end of that one, thankfully. Okay, the next one. To a very young lady. Why came I so untimely forth into a world which wanting thee could entertain us with no worth, or shadow of felicity? Oh, okay. Why I came so untimely forth into a world which wanting thee could entertain us with no worth or shadow of felicity. That time should so far remove from that which I was born to love, but love. Oh, so yes, so love is Louvre. That was somewhere. Okay. Yet fairest blossom, do not slight that age which you may know so soon. The rosy morn resigns her light, and milder glory to the noon. And then what wonder shall you do, whose dawning beauty warns us soon? So, hope waits upon the flowery prime, and summer though it be less gay, yet not look summer, the less gay season. Yet is not looked on as a time of declination and decay, for with full hand that does bring all that was promised by the spring. That's so sweet. Like, aging, not bad. Like, that's yeah. Yeah, yet fairest blossoms do not slight that age which you may know soon. The rosy morn resigns her light, and milder glory to the noon. So, like, well, yes, the morning is pretty. The noon is better. So, it's okay to be middle-aged. Oh, it's my phone that made the noise. What do you reckon it was? It's Duolingo. Remind me later. Okay. Yeah. And then what wonder shall you do, whose dawning beauty warns us so? Hope waits upon the flowery prime, and summer though it be less gay, yet is not looked on as a time of declination and decay. So, like, well, yes, spring is pretty and everything blooms in spring, everything's beauty, colourful. You don't look at summer and be like, wow, everything's ugly and dying. You don't do that. You're like, oh, summer, nice summer day, might go to the beach. Okay, this next one is called Of English are these numbered? Oh, they are numbered. Okay, poem 354 of English verse. Poets may boast, as safely vain, their work shall with the world remain, but with bound together live or die the verses in the prophecy. Prophesy? But who can hope his lines should long last in a daily changing tongue? While they are new, envy prevails, and as that dies, our language fails. When architects have done their part, the matter may betray their art. Time, if we use ill-chosen stone, soon brings a well-built palace down. Dune? Checks out. Poets that lasting marble seek must carve in Latin or in Greek. We write in sand, our language grows, and like the tide, our work overflows. Chaucer, his sense can only boast the glory of his numbers lost. Years have defaced his matchless strain, and yet he did not sing in vain. Beauties which adorn that age, the shining subjects of his rage. Hoping they should immortal prove, rewarded with success and Louvre. As we've discussed, Louvre. Sorry, I can't take myself seriously. This was the generous poet's scope, and all an English pen can hope, to make the fair approve his flame, that can so far extend their fame. Verse thus designed has no ill fate, if it arrive but at the date of fading beauty it proves, but long-lived as present Louvre. That's nice. That is nice, yes. When we for age... poem 355 of the last verses in the book. Not this book. Plenty left in this book. Right. When we for age could neither read nor write, the subject made us able to indite, the soul with nobler resolutions decked, the body stooping does herself erect, no mortal parts are requisite to raise, that her unbodied can make her praise. The seas are quiet when the winds give over, so calm are we when passions are no more. Mo? For then we know how vain it was to boast of fleeting things so certain to be lost. Yeah, here's the thing. What if I just say it as it feels like it should be said? Yes. Seas the quiet when the winds give o'er, so calm are we when passions are no more. For then we know how vain it was to boast of fleeting things so certain to be lost. Clouds of affection from our younger eyes conceal the emptiness which age decries. The soul's dark cottage, battered and decayed, lets in new light through chinks that time has made. Stronger by weakness, wiser men become, as they draw near their eternal hum. Oh, stronger by weakness, wiser men become, as they draw near to their eternal home. Leaving the old, both worlds at once they view, that stand upon the threshold of new. Cool. This one just has so long. I don't know, like that. Okay. Poem 357. Hope. To hope is good, but with such wild applause, each promise of Fabius thou dost entertain. Oh, it's A-B, A-B. Okay. To hope is good, and with such wild applause. To hope is good, but with such wild applause, each promise Fabius thou dost entertain, as if decreed by as if decreed thee by fate's certain laws, or in possession now it did remain. Wisdom is armed against all that can succeed. Times change, and with his stratagems for such, his nature is that when his wings we need, he will come creeping on his halting crutch. Do not, if wise, then to thyself assure, the future nor the present goods rely, or think there's any time from time secure, for then when patience sees her harvest nigh, that mocking tyrant in an instant rears a wall between the sickle and the ears. I don't understand that one, but that's okay. That one is from 1648. How lovely. Okay. Poem 358, The Fall. The bloody trunk of him who did possess, above the rest, a hapless happy state, this stone doth seal, but not depress, and scarce can stop the rolling of his fate. Oh, this is about the death of Charles I. William, Henry, Stephen, Henry, Richard, John. Oi! Okay, sorry. Okay, the bloody trunk of him who did possess, above the rest, a hapless happy state, this little stone doth seal but not depress, and scarce can stop the rolling of his fate. Brass tombs, which justice hath denied to his fault, the common pity to his virtues pays, adorning an imaginary vault, which from our minds strives in vain to raise. 1676. Against is against in 1676. Okay. 10 years. Oh, so this one. It's so difficult to okay, so it says 1648 and then in parentheses text 1676. So like, was it said in 1648 and then written in 1676? Who knows? Poem 359. A Rose. Blown in the morning, thou shalt fade airy noon. Airy noon? Ear noon? Eerie noon? Okay, let's look it up. Okay. Oh, it means before. Okay. Blown in the morning, thou shalt fade ere noon. What boots a life which in such haste forsakes thee? The art, TH apostrophe, so that wondrous frolic to begin to die so soon, and passing proud a little colour makes thee. If thee thy brittle beauty so deceives, know then the thing that swells thee is thy bane. For the same beauty doth in bloody leaves the sentence of thy early death contain. Some clown's coarse lungs will poison thy sweet flower, if by careless plough thou shalt be torn, and many Herods lie in wait each hour to murder thee as soon as thou art born. Nay, force thy bud to blow their tyrant breath, anticipating life to hasten death. I don't know. Okay. Poem 360. At a Vacation Exercise by John Milton? Yes, by John Milton. Hail, native language that by sinews weak didst move my first endeavouring tongue to speak. Admadst imperfect words with childish trips, half unpronounced, slide through my infant lips, driving dumb silence from the portal door, where he had mutely sate 2 years before. Here I salute thee, and thy pardon ask, that now I use thee in my latter task. Small loss it is that thence can come unto thee. I know my tongue, but little grace can do thee. Thou needst not be ambitious to be first. Believe me, I have thither packed the worst. Thither. Okay. And if it happen as I did forecast, the daintest dishes shall be served up last. The daintest, not even the daintiest, the daintest. The daintest dishes shall be served up last. I pray thee then deny me not thy aid, for this same small neglect I have made, but haste thee straight to do me once a pleasure, and from my wardrobe bring thy chiefest treasure. Wardrobe. I did not mean wardrobe, I meant wardrobe. Thank you. Okay, tools. Verbatim. Show me wardrobe verbatim. The Oxford English Dictionary. Can we see it, please? No, it's paid. It's behind a paper. Oh, you know what? I don't need the Oxford English Dictionary. I have the Webster Universal Dictionary. Let's look for wardrobe. Okay, it's a thick book, but we're gonna do it. Okay. Where do you reckon W is? Okay, so that's L. That's R. How does the alphabet go? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, S, T, that's T, U, V. Oh, W's next. Still V. Aha! Wallaby! Native Australian species of small kangaroo. There's a lot of species of small kangaroo. I feel like they're different. I wouldn't know though. Okay. So W A R B C D E F G H I J K L M N B R. Okay, wardship. Okay, well there's ward. Wardance, warden, wardenship, warder, wardmote, wardrobe, wardroom, wardship, where. Wardrobe is not in here. I'm going to assume that it's meant to be wardrobe then. Oof. Okay. Okay. Wardrobe. Okay. And from thy wardrobe bring thy chiefest treasure, not those newfangled toys. Yeah, not those newfangled toys. And trimming slight, which takes our late fantastics with delight. But cull those richest robes and greyest attire, which deepest sprints and choicest wits desire. I have some naked thoughts that rove about and loudly knock to have their passage out, and weary of their place do not only stay. Till thou hast decked them in thy best array, that so they may, without suspect or fears, fly swiftly to this fair assembly's ears. Yet I had rather, if I were to choose, CHUSE, thy service in some greater subject use, yes, choose, okay, such as may make thee search thy coffers round, before thou cloth my fancy in fit sound, such where the deep transported mind may soar above the wheeling pause and at heaven's door. Look in and see each blissful deity. Deity? I assume so. Deittie. Deity? How he before thunderstorms... thunderous, not thunderstorms, thank you. How he before the thunderous throne doth lie, listening to what unshorn Apollo sings. Is he okay, unshorn Apollo? My cat is an unshorn Apollo. He has his fur and he is named Apollo. To the touch of golden wires, while Hebe brings immortal nectar to her kingly sire. Then passing through spheres of watchful fire and misty regions of wide air next under, and hills of snow and lofts of piled thunder, may tell at length how green-eyed Neptune raves. So they're going all in with the Greek gods, and then Neptune. That's okay. I'm just autistic. I don't need everything to be 100% consistent all the time. I'll be fine. In heaven's defiance, mustering all his waves. Okay, so clearly I'm allergic to things not being consistent. Glad we've got that. Then sing of secret things that come to pass, when Bedlam nature in her cradle was, and the last of kings and queens and heroes old, such as wise Demodocus once told, in solemn songs at King Alcinous's feast, while sad Ulysses. While sad Ulysses' soul and all the rest are being with his melodious... Oh, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm really struggling with this. While sad Ulysses' soul and all the rest are held with his melodious harmony in willing chains and sweet captivity. Truly. Okay, so if you don't know, Ulysses is the Roman version of Odysseus. Sad Ulysses. Truly just... He is sad. Okay, I'm sorry. Poem 361. On the morning of Christ's nativity. I'm struggling. I'm truly struggling. Okay, on the morning of Christ's nativity. Sorry. This is the month, and this the happy morn, wherein the Son of Heaven's eternal King, of wedded maid and virgin mother born, our great redemption from above did bring, for so the holy sages once did sing. that he our deadly forfeit should release, and with his father work us a perpetual peace. That glorious form, that light unsufferable, and that far beaming, oh, not that, but that, okay, that glorious form, that light unsufferable, and that far beaming blaze of majesty, other with he want, W-O-N-T, at heaven's high council table, to sit the midst of Trinal, Trinal? I don't want it to be Trinal. Merriam-Webster. Can you get me a pronunciation, Merriam-Webster?
Trinal.
Trinal. It is, okay, Trinal. I don't think I can read that one. It's a bit biblical. Fuck, how long is that one? Okay, thank you. Okay. Poem 362, an epitaph on the Marchioness of Winchester. Any Supernatural fans in the chat? I'm sorry. Truly. This rich marvel doth enter the honoured wife of Winchester, a viscount's daughter, an earl's heir, besides what her virtues fair, added to her noble birth, more than she could own from earth. Summers 3 times 8 save 1. Guys, you know what poetry means? That means math time! Okay, 3 times 8. 3 times 8 is 24, save 1, so 23. 23. I can minus 1 from a number. 23. She was 23 years old then, I guess. Okay. Summers 3 times 8 save 1. She had told, alas, too soon, after so short time of breath, to house with darkness and with death. Yet had the numbers of her days been at complete, as was her praise, nature and fate had no strife in giving limit to her life. Her high birth and her graces sweet quickly found a lover meet. The virgin choir for her request that God sits at marriage. Is it request? Because the next rhyme is feast, unless it's fest and request. I'd believe if it was fest, like at marriage fest. I'd also believe request. The god that sits at marriage feast. He at there invoking came, but with scarce well-lighted flame, and in his garland as he stood, ye might discern a cypress bud. Once had early matrons run to greet her of a lovely son, and now with second hope she goes, and calls Lucina to her throes. But whether by mischance or blame, Atropos for Lucina came, and with remorseless cruelty spoiled at once both fruit and tree. The hapless babe before his birth had burial, yet not laid in earth. Oh, did she die in childbirth? I'm assuming so. Okay, I'm assuming she died in childbirth, and so did the baby, I'm imagining. Spoiled at once both fruit and tree, the hapless babe before his birth had burial, yet not laid in earth, and the languished mother's womb was not long a living tomb. So I have seen some tender slip, saved with care from winter's nip, the pride of her carnation train plucked up by some unheedy swain, who only thought to crop the flower, new shot up from vernal shower, But the fair blossom hangs the head sideways as on a dying bed, and those pearls of dew she wears prove to be presaging tears, which the sad morn had let fall on her hasting funeral. Gentle lady, may thy grave peace and quiet ever have. After this thy travail score, sweet rest cease thee evermore. Thee evermore. Sweet rest cease thee evermore. What to give the world increase, shortened hast thy own life's lease. Here besides the sorrowing that thy noble house doth bring, here be tears of perfect moan, wept for thee in Helicon, and some flowers and some bays for thy hearse to strew the ways, sent thee from the banks of Came, devoted to thy virtuous name, whilst thou bring Saint High sit'st in glory, next to her much like thee in story, that fair Syrian shepherdess, who after years of barrenness, the highly favoured Joseph bore, next to him that served for her before, and at her next birth, much like thee, through pangs fled to felicity. Far within the bosom bright of blazing majesty and light, there with thee new welcome saint, like fortunes may her soul acquaint. With thee there clad in radiant sheen, no marchioness, but now a queen. It's kind of sweet. Okay. Cerberus? Stygian? Oh. I don't like it when a poem starts out with Greek mythology and then throws in Venus. Because, as you may know, I'm sure, Venus is not Greek. Thank you very much. Wow, that one's long. Okay. Do you have any preferences? Ooh, Satan's Guile! I got way too excited for that. Okay, where does this one start? From Paradise Regained. There's two parts to it. Part 1, The Messiah, and Part 2, Satan's Guile. Oh, Part 3, True and False Glory. Part 4, The Parthians. Part 5, Rome. Part 6, Athens. Part 6. There are 6 parts. From 1671. I think... Okay, so we're getting into... Sir John Suckling. That's funny. Christianity. The ways of God and men. The deliver... Woman! This one's just called Woman. I'm reading Woman. It is not virtue, wisdom, valour, wit, strength, comeliness of shape, or amplest merit, that woman's love can win or long inherit, but what it is, hard is to say, harder to hit, which way soever men refer it. Much like thy riddle, Samson, in one day, or 7, though one should musing sit, if any of these, or all, the Timnian bride had not so soon preferred, thy paranymph worthless to thee compared, successor in thy bed, nor both so loosely dissallied, then I don't think I can read this one. That's 1670. What happened in the 1670s? Oh, my phone made a noise. What did my phone say? Oh, it was my mother. Okay, what happened in the 1670s? Okay. 1670. No, not like like what happened? What happened in the 1670s? What happened? What happened in 1670? A rebellion in Russia. King Charles II and French King Louis the 14th sign a secret anti-Dutch treaty. That's interesting. Okay. If it was 16, then it was probably 1660s, the decade, in England. What happened in 1660 England? Restoration of monarchy. Charles II. The king who brought back partying. Stuart monarchy in England. Scotland and Ireland replaced the Commonwealth of England. Okay. What is the Restoration period in English literature? Charles. Established a strict Anglican orthodoxy. Okay. That does make sense. Okay, well, we learnt in the 1660s the reason why all the rest of them are religious is because there was a strict Anglican orthodoxy. Now, I don't know if it's pronounced orthodoxy or if the like you put emphasis elsewhere. I don't know. But I can read poem 10. Yeah, let's go back to sort of the beginning. What mean these mortal children of mine own, ungratefully against me to complain, that all I build is by me overthrown, vices put... Oh, I forgot to read the time, sorry. Chorus tertius of time, eternity. So there's two parts, there's time and there's eternity. Two parts, yes. What mean these mortal children of mine own, ungratefully against me to complain, that all I build is by me overthrown, vices put under to rise up again, that on my wheels both good and ill do move, the one beneath while the other is above. Day, night, hours, arts, all, God or men create, the world doth charge me, that I restless change. Suffer no being in a constant state, alas, why are my revolutions strange? Unto these natures made fall or climb, with that sweet genius of a moving time. What weariness, what loathsome desolations would plague these life and death begetting creatures? Nay, what absurdity in my creations were it if time-born had eternal features? Neither this orb, which is corruption's sphere, not being able to long one shape to bear, could pleasure live, could worth have reverence, laws, arts, or sects, mere probabilities, keep up their reputation in men's sense, if novelty did not renew in his eyes, or time take or time take mildly from him what he knew, making both me and mine to each still new. Daughter of heaven I am, but God none greater, pure like my parents, life and death of action, author of ill success to every creature, whose pride against my periods makes a faction. With me who go along, rise while they be, nothing of mine respects eternity. Kings, why do you then blame me, whom I choose, as my anointed from the potter's oar, and to advance you made the people lose? While you to me acknowledge your power, be confident, all thrones subsist in me. I am the measure of felicity. I bring truth to light, detect the ill. My native greatness scorned boundeth ways. Untimely power a few days ruin will. Yea, worth the self falls till I list to raise. The earth is mine, of earthly things the care I leave to men that like them earthly are. Not kings, but I can Nemesis send forth. The judgments of revenge and wrong are mine. My stampedes alone do warrant recall worth. How do untimely virtues else decline? For son or father to destroy each other are bastard deeds where time is not the mother. Such is the work this state hath undertaken, and keeps in clouds with purpose to advance. False counsels in their self-craft justly shaken, as grounded on my slave and shadow, chance. Nay more, my child occasion is not free to bring forth good or evil without me. And shall I, for revealing this misdeed, by tying future to the present ill, which keeps disorder's ways from happy speed, be guilty of man-made's still erring will? Shall I, that in myself still golden am, by their gross metal bear an iron name? No, let man draw by his own cursed square such crooked lines as his frail thoughts affect, and, like things that of nothing framed are, decline unto the centre of defect. I will disclaim his downfall and stand free as native rival to eternity. And then eternity. What means this newborn child of planets' motion, this finite elf of man's vain acts and errors, whose changing wheels in all thoughts stir commotion, and in her own face only bears the mirror, a mirror in which, since time took her fall, mankind sees ill increase, no good at all. Because in your vast mouth you hold your tale, as coupling ages past with times to come. Do you presume your trophies shall not fail, as both creation's cradle and her tomb? For beyond yourself you cannot see, by days, hours, would you eternal be. Time is the weakest work of my creation, and if not still repaid, must straight decay. The mortal take not my true constellation, and so are dazzled by her nimble sway. To think her course long, which, if measured right, is but a minute of my infinite. A minute which doth her subsistence tie, subsistencies which in not being be, shall is to come, was passed by, time present cements in this duplicity. And if one must, of force, be like the other, of nothing is not nothing made by the mother. Why strives time, then, to parallel with me? What be her types of longest lasting glory? Arts, mitres, laws, moments, supremacy, of nature's erring alchemy. The story, from nothing sprang this point, and must by course to that confusion turn again, or worse. For she and all her mortal offspring build upon the moving base of self-conceit, which constant form can neither take nor yield, but still change shapes to multiply deceit, like playing atomy in vain contending, though they beginning had to have no ending. I at once see time's distinct progression, I in whose bosom was and shall still be. I that in cause work the effect succession, giving both good and ill their destiny. Though I bind all, yet can receive no bound, but see the finite still itself confound. Time, therefore I know thy limits, and strive not to make thyself or thy works infinite. whose essence is only to write and blot. Thy changes prove thou hast established no right. Thou hast no established right. What was that to? There. Govern thy mortal sphere, deal not with mine. Time, but the servant is of power divine. Blame thou this present state that will blame thee. Brick wall your errors from one to another. Both fail alike unto eternity. Goodness of... Excuse me, sorry about that. Goodness of no mixed course can be the mother. Both you and yours do covet states eternal. Whence, though pride end, your pains yet be infernal. Ruin this mass, work change in all estates, which then they serve not me, are in your power. Give unto the corruption of dooms of fate. Let your vast womb be your Cadmus men devour. Let your vast womb be your womb, not wombie. Womb. I had to read that because I knew I was reading it wrong. Let your vast womb your Cadmus men devour. The vice yields scope enough for you and hell to encompass ill ends by not doing well. Cross your own steps, hasten to make and mar with your vicissitudes. With your vicissitudes please, displease your own. Your three light wheels of sundry fashions are, and each, by others' motion, overthrown. Do what you can, mine shall subsist by me. I am the measure of felicity. And that's it. For that one, at least. Okay. So that was the Oxford Book of 17th century verse. I got it secondhand at Elizabeth's Bookshop in Newtown. Was it? Yes, it was Elizabeth's Bookshop in Newtown. Yes. What else to do? Because I kind of want to do something, but like, yeah. I think that might be the end of stream then. Well, thank you very much for tuning in, for following. Thank you very much. And I will do my best for the same time tomorrow. Okay. Bye.